Hey guys, we're back with our limestone reading. We're now on page 36, the next sort of set of pages. And we're back with talking about making calcium carbonate. And we said calcium carbonate is the main component in limestone. I'm going to blow it up a little bit here for us. All right, so if you look here, making calcium carbonate, living things, big part of making it. They result from chemical reactions in the seawater. These reactions involve calcium and bicarbonate. Again, where have we seen these things before when we were back at school? So calcium in seawater can come from the chemical weathering of rocks, such as granite, and bicarbonate can form when carbon dioxide combines with the rainwater. If the temperature is right, so there's temperature involved here, calcium and bicarbonates can react. There's our chemical reaction to form calcium carbonate. So calcium and bicarbonate are the reactants, and the product is calcium carbonate. Plants and animals can also create calcium carbonate. This is the living portion here. They take in the calcium and carbonate from the seawater, and then they deposit it. Ooh, deposition again. They deposit, they move it, and then they drop it off in their shells, or they release calcium carbonate into the water during their life functioning, and it's now in a new place. These organisms include one-celled animals, so many tiny one-celled organisms in the ocean, but oysters, clams, algae, and aquatic grasses as well, even some grasses. Making limestone. Eventually, the calcium carbonate in shells that these organisms collect, they produce ooze on this ocean floor, and it solidifies over time. It becomes limestone. Most limestone throughout history formed in relatively shallow, warm tropical seas, and these conditions still exist around tropical islands. There's a lot of limestone being formed as we go there today, but it takes millions of years. There's calcium carbonate is easily available to marine animals and plants. In cold water, calcium carbonate shells dissolve when the animals die. So nothing is left to form the calcium sediments when the animals die. Variety of limestone. Last heading here. There's many different types of limestone. If I could wink, you guys know that I can't wink. My Egyptians know it's sad. But if I could wink, I would wink. This is going to be a check-in question coming up here. The types of limestone. There's more than one type. One ingredient shared by all limestone, again, is the calcium carbonate. Geologists have described a variety of limestone. They often name the rocks for where they form, or for the fossils and other minerals in them. Again, taking note about where they form or the fossils is how it's named. The first type is petroleum limestone. It's mainly composed of ooze and the microscopic shells of animals. Microscopic meaning we can't see the shells, but that has the microscopic calcium carbonate. This limestone forms in deep ocean water, and the microscopic animals sink to the bottom and settle in the ooze there. Because deep water holds little oxygen, the organic materials stay there. So here's a picture of the ooze right here. I should maybe bring it down here a minute. Much of the ocean floor is covered with a muddy form of calcite called calcareous ooze that over time will become limestone. Here you can see the hard shells of oysters and other shellfish. And this is all happening here in the blue-green seawater. And it gets the color from the bacteria that actually releases that. So when you see the blue-green water, you can also say limestone is probably on its way to being formed there. Okay, so because the deep water holds oxygen, back to the reading here, organic material does not decompose. Okay, so you need oxygen for decomposition to happen. And because there's not oxygen down there, the organic material is not breaking down. It's staying there. So that ooze is kind of hanging out down there. Over time, it changes to petroleum. That's why we call it fossil fuels. Okay, these deposits can be hundreds of meters thick, and it takes a lot of microscopic shells to build the deposits. So again, petroleum gas is a variety of limestone, okay, over time. Second type is reef limestone, mainly made of skeleton of marine organisms such as coral. And we'll revisit this, but the coral skeletons. I am running out of my time. So next up, we'll talk about the other varieties.